So all the years, man, what do you think, if anything, what has graffiti taught you?
Uh, Graffiti is just honestly is just it's a part of our culture. You
Yeah.
know, it's growing up. It was either like in my environment. I always talk about environment
Yeah.
because the
Yeah.
environment builds who you are, and a lot of the guys can't escape that environment. A lot of the homies, either got shot, got killed, went to jail, got into gangs. They're no longer with us. And some of us made it. We were able to change that environment. But during that environment, it's been always Graff for me. And even though my environment kind of changes a little bit, the Graff is still there. You know what I mean? And I think it showed me, you know, my character. I'm a cool guy, but like if it gets to a point where I have to get down, I get down, and that's what Graff showed me. It's like, hey, dude, you never back away from any type of fight. You want your name, someone's writing your name, or someone's like, you know, capping over you. You need to, you know, you have to handle business. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, like I said, multiple times I had to get down with multiple people, and show, like,
Yeah.
what's up, dog? And it's a good thing I was able to win every fight so far. You know what I mean? But
Okay. You never took
never
any
got my ass
L's?
whooped yet. You know what I mean? But yeah, I did a lot of ass whooping. But
So you're undefeated in the streets.
yeah, something like that. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm getting older now, so it's not the same no more,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay. How has since the 90s, since you started, is this are you paying is it the same game? Is it
you know what? It changes. It changes like it's changed over time, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it doesn't go back. I sometimes feel that it might come back.
Mhm.
But yeah, like I brought it up before in the '90s. There's a lot of tag bangers,
Yeah.
a lot of gangs that didn't like taggers. They, like I said, they put the green light on all the taggers. At that
Yeah.
time. You know what I mean? So, and they're saying like you have choices. You could either become a gang or get into a hood, or you stop writing
Yeah.
completely.
Yeah.
And so when you weren't out there painting, like guys were getting shot up, you know what I mean? Because of all that tag banging shit that was going on at that time, you know what I mean? So they're like, they were over that. So it's like, you guys want to be tag bangers, we're going to be gangsters,
Yeah.
Either or, you can't be tag bangers, So that was that era. And it's changed over time, you know what I mean? And I think we're like in an environment now that I like, the laws have changed a little bit, and all the older tags will tell you that, like, they don't know what it is to get raided, how, like, they saw you tagging, and then you got the helicopter on you, and 20 cop cars, and they went after you, like, you were looking out for gangsters, for fucking cops, for everything,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
wanted you, you know what I mean? So we're in a era, that's a lot easier, and people could get away with more stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
They could get more creative, and I guess not care that, like, I think the respect for the cops still is different too. You know what I mean? Like, they don't respect. We will get our ass whooped. Like, the
Mhm.
cops will fuck you up and take you to jail. You know what I mean? There is no cameras, none of that. So
Right.
it was like they had way more power than a lot of their power has decreased. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like I said, the guys are getting up right now. Hey, good for you guys,
Yeah.
putting it up there, I don't take nothing from them because they're still out there putting
Yeah.
in work, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just have it a little easier, and I think that's why some of us are kind of coming back out, because we see
Mhm.
this, it's like, oh fuck, just we don't have that same energy that we
Yeah.
once had, right?
That's right.
But we're still trying to put it up there,
What are your thoughts on social media?
Oh yeah, social media actually, I think it's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
It's a good thing. I see it because they're finding. If you're smart about it, you could kind of make money out of it. Like a lot. I see a lot of people out there. Not necessarily great, like never did much work, but they're like doing enough to stand out in social
Mhm.
media, and actually making a business out of it, which is great.
Yeah.
I can't. And not, and then I think. It's not as biased as before, where certain magazines would just take like your pictures and that was it. That's all we had back in the day, magazines. And if you weren't part of that magazine, you might have one picture at most, you know what I mean? And but other cats will have multiple pictures of their stuff, you know what I mean? So now you could like promote yourself, on social media, and then get enough followers. I guess that's a new thing, and stand out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because with me, man, social media. I mean, I'll be honest. It has influenced me.
Yeah.
And to come back, because I thought I was done for a while. To be frank with you, man, I thought I was done, and then I was like, man. And I started seeing a bunch of names that I remember from the 90s, like the late 90s, early 2000s. And I'm like, oh, what? This guy's still painting? That guy's still painting? And so, that has played a role in me, coming back into the game.
Hell yeah.
But
that's what I said. It's good times. I like where we're at, like the laws are a little easier on graffiti artists now, you know what I mean? They're not really, they see you, they more like you get the hell out of here, give you a ticket, nothing crazy, and hopefully it stays like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, overnight it could change. And if it does change, I could see a lot of these guys that are, thinking that they're like badass writers disappear real quick.
Right.
If shit gets hot again, you know what I mean? They will disappear. And only the strong will, survive, you know what I mean? True writers, you know what I mean? A lot of people right now think, oh, let's go paint, and they're, oh, here comes the cops, who cares, I still have that, I'm gonna run, like I see a cop and I'm just, you know what I mean? And these guys are like, hey, what's up, like, hey, yeah, it's like, dude, I'm not used to that, I'm still used to seeing a cop, boom, I'm done, I'm gone.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, I'm not taking any chances, you know what I mean? And then later on, it's like, yeah, they ain't trip, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
Is this the best time to be a writer?
I think so. So. And I hear other guys, I've seen other interviews that graffiti is getting worse. I don't think it's getting worse. What's happening is there's good writers and there's bad writers, and there's just so many of them. It's like traffic, right? It's just you could see some nice cars, but there's a bunch of other cars that look trashy or whatever, right? But there's still nice cars out there. You just can't see them. Or same thing with so many people, you can't see certain individuals no more. And we had, to a certain degree, respect, right? We had a bomb, and especially that was your spot. This was your spot. No one will write around it. They'll respect that spot and go somewhere else. That was yours. You made that. Now people paint right above you, on the side, wherever they can, dude. And that's what makes it bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they would, and I get it. There's just so many spots. I think all these spots at one point, someone got them, I got them at one time. Other people, Euler got them. Other great writers have gotten these spots,
Yeah.
And there's just so many where sooner or later people have to just get those same spots. And now they're just getting overcrowded with the rollers. They paint on top. It's a little crazier now.
Yeah.
But there's still a lot of good stuff out there. Like now that I'm out there looking at the stuff, there's great writers. It's still the same, It's just a little bit too much.
Yeah.
Are
there more writers now? It feels like.
Oh yeah, definitely. No, definitely. Right now, I think the graphene is back in. Yeah. I really think the graffiti is in, and like I said, a lot to do with our laws, and people are seeing it and they're getting back into it. I see a lot of I see a lot. You go out there, there's so many different writers. Of course, a few standout guys that put in their work, but there's way more writers right now, because for a while it really went down, and then the reason why is because they will buff your spots really quick. Now a lot of these spots don't get buffed that fast, right? That's one of the things now. And the second thing, a lot of guys, because of social media, they don't care if it gets buffed.
Right.
I'm still over there hunting for the best spot. I'm like, damn, okay, that one will last. That'll be permanent.
Right.
And then I see these other guys getting it just like on a regular wall on the freeway.
Right.
And next thing you know, they put the picture up, and then they got 1,000 hits or 50,000 hits, and that's all they want now,
That's right.
And one of the things that has developed because of those is like vandals, that we're talking about empty buildings where we're like painting them now, and you take your picture. Back in the day, that you would have never done stuff like that, right? So because they can't see your name. But with social media now, wherever you paint, you take your video, whatever, and post it up, and the more viewers you get, the more you get up now, right? So that's another form of getting up now is through social media, but in the end, like us as writers, we know who are the cats that are actually putting work. There's guys, there's different types of graffiti writers, right? The ones that don't take chances, and then the guys that take the risk, and those are the guys that you get props, the guys that take that risk. There's a lot of guys that, safe spots all the time, you know what I mean? Never took risks.
Yeah.
So they got up, but I will never give them that same credit as those guys that took the risk, such as Euler, Air, a lot of these guys that used to see, like, how the fuck did they get that spot? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and you wanted to do the same, you know what I mean? So, those are the guys that give most credit, and there's still guys out there doing that shit, you know what I mean? So, props to them.
Yeah. Do you have a top three writers, man?
That's not me. No.
Besides me,
you know what? Honestly, I do. Like the guy.
You want to say?
Yeah. I don't have a problem. Honestly, like a lot of guys talk about Shoutouts, Sleaze, Decline. A lot of these guys. I didn't get to, that was and people don't understand. There's generations, and that generation was I was too young.
You missed their run.
I kind of missed their run, so I didn't get to see a lot of these guys that people talk about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I missed that cycle. What I saw is what's like when I was a teenager, and at that time it was like Euler, he was getting up everywhere. I remember seeing he's one of the first guys I started seeing on bridges. You know what I mean? And just oils. I'm like, God damn, that's just crazy. With Decline, a little bit of Decline, but Euler, and I got to see GK, GK and Juice.
Okay.
They were out there, and then Air and Ozzy, it's always little teams, right? Like little, and those are the guys, I remember seeing up, a lot, during my time, those were the risk takers, the guys that were doing the shit out there, in the bridges, the shit that could kill you, So I give props to those guys, any day.
So if you could narrow it down to three, who would it be?
I think am I the three top guys for me would have been actually I would say four.
Okay,
four. They're not my crew because I would say Sector and all these, but I think I will give props to Oil, to Air, to GK, and to Ozzy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
So those were like top hitters at that time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the guys that caught my eye were the guys that were taking, like, on the bridges, the hard to reach spots. The dangerous spots. Yeah. That's what always caught my eyes. So I got Air up there. I missed GK's run.
Yeah. Okay.
I missed Oil's run.
Yeah.
You said Ozzy.
Yeah.
I never saw.
Yeah, he did all the.
I know he off the bridge.
But he was doing a lot of that for he was doing like all the valley. He was out there.
Okay.
He was one of those. It's like that one spot is like doing like 20 spot. You know what I mean? It's like, and that's what I tell people. It's not the quantity, is the quality of where you do.
And that was a hell of a spot that he caught. I would have never thought to.
A lot of those spots is where they're at, you know what I mean? It's like what and I give respect to those guys that took that chance.
Yep.
So
dope, man. That's a hell of a top four, man. A hell of a list. How long do you envision yourself continuing to do Graff?
I think it's just part of my life, you know what I mean? If I can't go, I honestly love bombing. That gives me the thrill, but I know I can't do it for the rest of my life, for multiple reasons, getting older, you don't want to end up in jail sooner or later, you know? So, but there's still like other stuff, at this point is where you're like, okay, where's my, start piecing a little bit more, start doing canvas work, but still have it. And then not only that, like I've told you before, I want to be a mentor. I want to be a coach to newer generations, make sure they're doing the right things, not the same things that we did, because I don't know if you remember, we didn't have mentors when we were coming up. It was like, we were developing our own styles.
We were our own mentors.
Yeah. So now that's something that this new generation have. They have social media. They see guys giving lessons and how to fade in, how to do tags, how to do bombs. They're getting so they have all the exposure now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the difference between the new writers and the old writers. We didn't. We had magazines that we got looking. We're like trying to figure out letters and stuff and trying to build our own style.
Right.
No, I see, and I'm not saying nothing bad about some of the new generations, but I do see a lot of guys doing fonts.
Yeah.
I'm not a big font guy. It's
Right.
cool once in a while to do, but you need to create. Like I'm still like old school when it comes to that. Create your own style.
Yeah.
Create your name. And I don't see a lot of guys doing that. There's a lot of font writers over there that it's like they're not original.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I've noticed that as well. Like, man, what? I just see a lot of fonts. Just the words the letters are like evenly spaced.
Yeah. So
symmetrical. I'm like, oh, damn. Okay.
You tell them to do their own style, they won't be able to do it. You know what I mean? So,
it's funny. You said magazines because I used to turn the magazines upside down and look for letters. Oh, there's a G right there.
Yeah.
And I was too embarrassed to say that, but but
you had to figure out something, And I think it was kind of it was, and that made one of the things that I do different now is. I remember coming up, you were too embarrassed to tell like someone that was a much better writer than you. Hey, dog, like show me some styles. Like because you were just like embarrassed.
Right.
You're too hardcore to. Now I don't care, dude. I tell the guys, hey, come on, I'm gonna teach you how to shade. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna teach you what I didn't get taught. I had to be observing different people and try to and remember that later on. You know what I mean? And I'm still learning, that's one thing about graffiti. You're always learning,
There's always areas of improvement, man. Always areas of improvement. Okay, cool, man. Cool. Do you have any advice, man, for your crew members, for the younger generation? Any words of wisdom that you could share with us?
Yeah. Like, I think if you guys want to be, if you guys love graffiti, you guys, have to step it up, put in the work, 1-2 bombs is not, it's like if you want to be that guy that stands out, you need to go out there, and almost see it like a job,
Yeah.
That's like your second job. A lot of us went through that at one time in our period, and got recognized and stuff like that. And if you guys want the same thing, you guys will, do this, have to do the same stuff. And just make sure, like, talk to your older, like I said, now you have mentors, you got, different people that you could talk to and talk to them like that. You take the right steps.
Mm-hmm.
You don't end up being a toy, right? Capping over certain names or certain bombs or even like landmarks. And you're like, oh, well, it was just a tag and I did a bomb. It's like, no, dude, that was a landmark. Like, know your history. You know, I tell the new guys there's a lot of names that are being put back up, and there's history to some of those names. Like, bro, do your history. Like, you have social media now. Look, instead of looking at a dictionary, right? Look, put whatever name, and make sure it's the right name. You know what I mean? You don't want to have a name that is already a retired name or someone already has it. So don't be embarrassed to tell your the older cats, hey, show me some styles. You know what I mean? I want to know how to do throws, bombs, piece. I want to get more into piecing, So
that's a good one there, man. Ask for help. Ask for help. A true homie's not gonna make fun of you or
And I think and I think it's different. Like we said, like I think that the environment has changed, and I think we're helping each other more. You know what I mean? It's not like before. Before you didn't want no one to know who you were. You were more discreet. It was different times. Today, I think it's more. I see people like connecting more, like on social media, hooking up together, painting together. It's a little different. It's changed for a good. I think it is for a good. And like I said, I don't want that mentality that we came through in the 90s come back. I would not want that.
Yeah. What are your just personal thoughts on capping, like the rules?
For
you.
The first thing for me is like try to get your own spot. You know what I mean? That's the main thing. It's hard because sometimes wait till it gets buff or whatever. Get that spot. If there's some little like I have respect where it comes because you don't know if those are the local kids, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you see that they took their time, you don't go and do a big ass something big and say, oh, whoa, I went big.
Right.
No, dude, like respect those local guys. You know, that's their spot. They're going to come back.
Yeah.
And that was me. I'm gonna come back, and I don't care. And I'll do a bunch of fucking cities. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm gonna come back, and that's the way I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So respect. Try to not. But now, if you see a couple of scribbles, it's been this, you know, that's been tagged around, then yeah, go ahead and paint it, dog. You know what I mean? But even if you see a throwy out there, and it's like a cool little spot, you know, and that guy, you know, still took his time to paint or whatever, and it's his original spot. Leave it alone, dog. You can't come because you know how to piece and do something on top of it. That guy still took his time, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you respect those spots, especially if they're original spots. You respect those, you know? Now, if they're spots, like I said, they're not original, they've been painted over, and you want to do something nice, yeah, go ahead. But always try to get your own spot first.
Yeah.
You know? And then if you know, if you can for whatever reason, no, make sure you do a wise decision and make sure that it is old, ugly, whatever, and you're going to do something nicer, you know? So
yeah. Before we get out of here, are there any shout outs you'd like to give out?
Yeah. I want to shout out like to all the crew members, and of course other guys that were part of our family that weren't part of the crew, but I still want to give shout outs to those guys. Mm-hmm. But we'll start with the big hitters, you know, mm-hmm. from CDP, and that was of course Sector, Base, Gun, and then Cinco's one of the younger, you know, putting in a lot of work. A lot of the youngsters, one of the youngsters is putting out, mm-hmm. He's a hard hitter right now. Mm-hmm. We got of course our female writer, Mrs. Queen. She mm-hmm. got up. Mm-hmm. She's still painting. She's still putting in work. We got some of the older cats like Mass, Bax, and some of the new generation like Elvis, JR57, B9, R10, Azo, Tone. You know, those, you know, and then those are some of the crew member guys that we have. And then they're not from the crew, but they're part of my life, of course. Yeah. It's like yourself, Giver, Havoc, you know, Jerk, what else? Skills, Euler, too many people to pretty much name, and I'm sorry if I forgot any of you guys did. But yeah, there's a lot of guys out there, you know, that you know over the years we painted with, and mm-hmm. and I feel I'm part of as a family, you know what I mean? Oh. But those are the guys that right now I could account for. Oh, the homie Expense. Yeah, homie Expense too.
Yeah, you'll see it.
So,
you'll see it.
Yeah. Like I said before, you just. You know, we'll be out there, dog. You just look around. We'll be out there. You know, all the new heads and the old cats are coming out, and we're playing. We're back at the yard. You know, we're playing. Yeah. You know what I mean? So,
and I see it. I see it. So, dope, man. Well, thank you so much, man, for coming, showing the channel some love.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, and stay tuned. CDP's coming.
There you go. Crime does pay, baby.